Kitty. I won't let anything harm you. Ever again.
It's nice to have a friend.
I want to go ahead and review M3GAN, Chad. Actually, before I get into details about M3GAN, which I saw with Vanny last night, which was so fun. Thank you for the drinks and popcorn. Good, sir. But we saw it with an interesting audience. We saw it late, by the way. It was like the 10:45 screening at Elmo Drafthouse, which, is one of the best theater chains out there, chat. I just love I like their service. I like the food there. I like what they put up on the screen beforehand. It's not your typical, like, this week on TNT. Like, no, they show documentaries. They find funny stuff online for react to that is themed to the movie. I really liked it. Like, a lot of Killer Doll stuff was shown, old school trailers for Killer Doll movies and things, or AI gone awry. I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, we had some weirdos. Next to Van, which I felt bad for Vanny. And he could confirm this. Like, we had these two very large people, not body shaming, but they were large people, and they just had this musk, this smell of weed, chat, when they sat down. I mean, it was pungent. It was pungent. I was like, "Whoa, my God!" And Vanny, he got the brunt of it. He kind of was blocking me from them, but I smelled them. I was like, as soon as they sat down, I was like, "Jesus Christ!" It was like seeped into their clothes and their hoodies, chat. I think after a while, because all the food started to come out, it masked it. But I just know it's like, Jesus Christ. It was just weed, cigarettes, and maybe a little bit of a mildew. But I felt sorry for Van. You could confirm. Hope it wasn't too bad for you. But then we also just had some like weird people in the audience, like the type of audience where I'm like, all right, are these guys gonna be so excited that they're gonna end up ruining the movie for me? And they didn't. But it's funny. It was actually during the Renfield trailer when it came up. And it was when Nicolas Cage revealed himself as Dracula. And this one guy sitting to my left freaked the fuck out. Woo! Like clapping like a goddamn seal. Orf, 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 orf. And I was like, it scared me. It scared me, Chad. It scared me so much I'm hitting my mic. I was really taken aback. I was like, whoa. I was like, all right. I mean, I'm looking forward to him as Count Dracula too. I think it's gonna be fun. But this guy was like the biggest fucking reveal. It was like Captain America picking up Thor's hammer in Avengers Endgame, chat. It was on that level for him. It was like, Avengers Assemble. It was like, that was his Avengers Assemble, his Captain America picking up Thor's hammer moment, picking up Mjolnir. It blew his mind, which, it's fun to see people excited, but even I'm like, all right, settle down. But anyway, I thought that was interesting viewing experience. Vanny's saying can't confirm. Wasn't Dracula. That's good. Yeah, I was like, I feel sorry for him because it reminded me of this one experience where I went to see Deadpool 2 like years ago, and I think it affected my opinion of the movie. And I still have some problems with it. I sat next down to this obnoxious couple. But it was the boyfriend who he just smelled just like mildew. He just smelled like old clothes that had been unwashed. Not even like BO. I mean, it was a little bit of BO, but it was just like there's like this thing, it gets stuck in your nose. It was like this just repellent musk that was just hanging in the air. I just remember it. And the guy, he had these huge blonde hair dreadlocks, and it was clear that he did not, wash them. He didn't perfume them, didn't do nothing, chat. And I just remember it was like, it's clearly his hair, which just stinks. And it's so funny because in the movie, you have this character, Black Tom, who has these very big dreadlocks, and and he's a white guy, and so Deadpool was making fun of him for his cultural appropriation, and that got the biggest laugh for me, and the guy sitting next to me dead silent. I love that. Well, what was the line, chat? What was the line when Black Tom dies? "You kill Black Tom, you racist son of a bitch." I love that moment. That was good. That made it worth it sitting next. Actually, it didn't make it worth it still because the girlfriend was farting and burping and just like talking to the screen. Oh, so obnoxious. But thankfully that the viewing experience for M3GAN was nothing like that. Bringing it back to the review, the first film that I've seen, Chad, in 2023, the first 2020 movie that I've seen this year. And, for those that don't know, before I kind of go into the amazing marketing campaign for this movie and just my overall thoughts on the film, just kind of want to give you an idea of what the movie's about. It follows this character named Gemma, played by Allison Williams, probably best known for playing the character of Rose from Get Out, one of my favorite movies of the previous decade. She plays this brilliant but aloof roboticist for this toy company, and she creates this very intelligent, this artificially intelligent doll named M3GAN. And it becomes very attached to her niece, and who recently went through a very traumatic event in which both her parents are killed, and Jim has to take care of her. And, in order to make her feel better and also just kind of like ignore her, she passes off M3GAN to her, becomes extraordinarily attached to her niece, Katie. Well, M3GAN becomes hyper-intelligent, self-aware, and becomes extraordinarily hostile to anyone that would threaten Katie and her. And she goes on a, killing spree, Chad, while also trying to maintain her facade as just the ultimate toy that all little girls and little boys want, Chad. Before I get into my, review, I just have to compliment the exceptional marketing campaign for this movie. Like, when that trailer dropped, I mean, first of all, I was like, this is crazy, because there's already, just looking at this character, chat, weird. It's realistic, but not realistic, chat. The uncanny valley is strong with M3GAN. And to hear the voice that's coming out of her mouth, this robotic, 12-year-old, 14-year-old-esque voice, and the fact that she's, popping and locking while she's murdering people, chat, she's singing pop songs and everything. It took the internet by storm. That was, I think, one of my most successful trailer reactions for this year. Multiple, content creators were reacting to this trailer. Everyone was like, what, did you guys see M3GAN? And the thing is, people had a lot of different reactions. People were saying, like, oh, this looks so funny. I can't wait to see it. Some people were like, this looks ridiculous. It's going to be terrible. But I think at the end of the day, no matter what would have happened, it was like, it got everyone's attention. And, big respect. Big respect to Blumhouse for the amazing marketing campaign for this movie. And Universal Pictures, of course, who distributed it, the film. But aside from the marketing, the movie itself, that's what everyone's curious about. It's like, okay, the trailers are hilarious. Everyone's loving them, for the most part. But what about the film? One thing I want to start off by just saying, I think 2022 was a really good year for genre movies, and especially horror. And although I think it ended kind of quite poorly with the bloated and poorly written spectacle that is, Avatar: The Way of Water, M3GAN shows the fun you can have with this genre, even with a straightforward story and familiar tropes. The reason why this film succeeds, as much as this does, is because it leans into its comedy, all right? And its camp. It wears it on its sleeves. No one is pretending in this movie that M3GAN isn't creepy when we first see her in the film, and everyone's performances help sell you on the fact that the entire concept of this film's premise is ridiculous and over the top. Everyone's like, yeah, she looks a little weird. Like, everyone at the top's like, I don't know about this. And like, it's the subtlety of those performances that are so fun. It's, it's tongue-in-cheek with just enough wholesomeness to keep you engaged with what happens next. Everyone, I think, does an admirable job, in the movie, from Allison Williams, who plays Gemma, the roboticist, this aloof roboticist who's obsessed with her work, not a very good guardian, Chad, in any capacity. The film's like, yeah, she's not very good at, being a caregiver to a little girl who just has gone through trauma. And, and Violet McGraw, who plays Katie, Chad, you can see that she's suffering. I think her performance is solid. She's great. And I think the rest of the cast, provide funny performances and commentary throughout the film, but the thing is about this movie, everyone is saying M3GAN is the real standout star, chat. You have Amy Donald, who does the physical actions of the character, chat, and you have Jenna Davis, who provides the voice, and it's just the filmmakers, you know, and the makeup artists and everyone behind the scenes that perfectly make this character like endearing, funny, and threatening throughout the movie. It's a trifecta, chat. They do such a great job. I was always excited to see what M3GAN was going to do next. And even her most subtle of actions, you know, like a little smile, the shifting of her eyes, like her eyes suddenly go wide. I mean, it keeps it so entertaining. She stays so entertaining throughout the movie. You know, she sings, she pops and locks, and she murders to great effect in the film. You know, if I have any complaints, I just wish the movie would go a little harder with its kills. It's PG-13, and you can tell they didn't want to make an incredibly violent movie, but I feel like they still do a good job of creating some great action sequences, and they build some fun tension, chat. Both that's dramatic and also comedic. I think they have a lot of good payoffs in this movie. As I said before, you know, listen, the story isn't doing anything we haven't seen before, other than really playing up the comedy, which really worked for me. I mean, that's the thing that they had. It's like, okay, listen, this is a concept you've seen from, everyone knows killer doll movies, AI gone awry. So, but we're going to punch up this script, okay? We're going to make it really, really funny. And that's why it succeeds as well as it does. And they fully embrace, and they use to great effect, that they use their budget so well with the M3GAN character. And also they just do kind of a send up of the toy industry. Just, I mean, like the movie literally opens up with like a toy commercial with like a Furby like knockoff thing. This thing which is obnoxious and annoying, and it incorporates a lot of modern technology and apps. You can feed it and it shits everywhere, and it says these rude things, and it burps and it farts and everything. You know, I was like, okay, you've seen this stuff before, and you know they lean into this company's like, this company just like, we just want to make money. And so when things go awry and you have those characters in the film who are just like, this thing's fucking great, I don't care about testing, let's get this out there, we gotta make the money. And when they eventually die horribly, it's hilarious. It's like, yeah, you get what you goddamn deserve. You know, overall, I think this is a really great start to genre cinema for 2023. And you know, and for me, chat, I'm speaking only for myself, it acts as an excellent palate cleanser to lesser genre fare like, you know, Avatar 2. You know, it really, to me, this like movie is a third of the length of Avatar. All right. It doesn't take itself so seriously, even though it plays with, you know, a lot of familiar genre concepts. But it just is like, hey, we're just going to try to give you the most entertaining time possible and focus on this character of M3GAN, who, and that's the crazy thing about it too, is like, there are so many moments in this film, I'm like, I'm on M3GAN's side. Like, she's kind of in the right here. Like, I really liked her. And they just have these moments where they catch you off guard, where she does something so kind and sweet with Katie, and she like does care. And it's like, oh my God, I love that. And then they'll do it where she just says something, she'll just start singing in a pop song. And I was like, this is great. If you go with that mindset, yeah, we're not taking this too seriously. You know, we're not going to tell you this operatic, you know, sci-fi, you know, tale. We're going to have that commentary in there and everything. But if you just go in there and go like, hey, you're going to enjoy a nice campy horror comedy, I think you're going to walk away really enjoying this movie, chat. Few flaws because of its kind of workmanlike, you know, story. And I really wish it went harder with the rating. Apparently they're going to release an R-rated cut on streaming and on VOD. Which I'm on this point, I'm like, I don't know why you just didn't go with that. You know, that audience is gonna go see this movie no matter what, unless they think, hey, we're gonna try to get, you know, kids in here, teens, but you know, they're going in to see rated R movies anyway. Theaters don't care, but you know, thankfully it doesn't bring the film down too much. You know, for me, chat. You know, it's really fun. And again, just seeing her do weird shit in the background is really, really funny. And there's some gross stuff in there too. There's some body horror, chat, ripping off little kids' ears and you know, spraying someone with chemicals and stuff. It's like it's neat. It's neat. And I walked away really enjoying the movie. It left me just feeling good, chat. It's a movie I'm still thinking about. I don't know if this would be like on my top 10 next year, but in terms of honorable mentions, it probably will be. I could definitely see it, you know, being on my honorable mentions list. It it reminds me of, to a degree, something like Violent Night, where it's, hey, it's a Christmas film, but it's a hard R Christmas action movie where Santa Claus is murdering countless terrorists. It's like they're similar in that way, genre bending, if you will. And M3GAN is a great genre bending horror film, chat. So I would give this a low full price. I think it's definitely worth seeing in the theater. See this in the audience. You're gonna get a lot of laughs, chat. I recommend it. But that's just my thoughts on M3GAN. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about the film. How many of you have seen it? Let me know.